Hey everybody, it's Tosh. Figured I'd stop in and give you an update since it's been a while since I've done that, and I do apologize. So much crap going on, it's not even funny. But last time I spoke with you, it was before my initial appointment with the surgeon's office on my weight loss sleeve journey. That appointment was a long appointment. I had to see a psychiatrist. I talked to the nurse practitioner. I talked to the surgeon. I talked to my referral coordinator. I was there for like 3.5 hours. So everybody there was great. They were super nice, but it was just a long time to be there. So basically that day I had just general blood workup. I had to have an H. pylori test where I had to blow in a bag just so they could test it to see if I have a certain type of infection or lovely germs inside my guts. But luckily all that came back perfect, no worries there. They set me on a journey for my actual journey. They gave me this lovely packet, and I keep it in a 3-ring binder because I am misorganized secretary, you know how that goes. But this list is actually everything I have to do before they can submit my file to my insurance for the surgery approval. So we got the blood work done and the H. pylori test done that day. I didn't get to speak with the dietitian. She was out of the office that day. So I actually called and talked to her just a couple weeks ago and got that taken care of and checked off. So I didn't have to have a gallbladder evaluation. That's a funny story we'll come back to later. But I had to have appointments with the cardiologist and the pulmonary doctor for my lungs. Everything went good there. The cardiologist, he was great, older gentleman. He said, what we'll do, everything looks good so far. We'll send you to the hospital and have an ultrasound done of your heart, and then we'll also have a stress test done. So, going down the line, the heart ultrasound was hilarious. The gentleman that did that for me was great. He was cracking jokes the whole time. He said all that looked perfect. Then, after he got that done, I actually went upstairs to the stress test level. They put you on that lovely treadmill that's about yay wide. They hook you up from head to toe with all kinds of sensors, and then they jerk it tight across your gut and say, okay, we need you to walk. They said normally it just takes about 5 to 6 minutes to get to what we need to actually read the test. I was like, okay. Well, at that time, I was still going to the gym, 4 times a week, if not 5. So my cardio tolerance was pretty good. I ended up having to walk on the treadmill for like 15 minutes to get my heart rate where they wanted it. But we got all that knocked out of the way, followed up with the cardiologist. Everything looked perfect. He went ahead and wrote my letter of clearance and got that uploaded into my file. So that was one thing checked off the list. With the lung clearance, I went to the doctor. She was very young, super sweet. Her office is a little wonky, but her herself, she was wonderful. She talked to me for like 45 minutes about just everyday things, making sure I was taking care of myself basically and things like that. She said, okay, well, I want to do 2 things. We'll actually have a breathing test done, and then I also want you to have a sleep study done just to make sure there's no issues. Of course, I'm a snorer. I don't sleep sound at all. I wake up, all that fun stuff. So she said that's probably a good idea for me to do just to make sure all our bases were covered. The breathing test, I did have to have a COVID scan for that just because when they administer the test, you're face to face with that person and you can't wear a mask, obviously, when you're doing that breathing test. So it's probably the worst one I'd had. But anyway, breathing test, got there, guy was cool. He talked me through the whole thing. Didn't have any issues with that. He said everything looked perfect. They got that result sent over to the lung doctor so she could verify all that. So she went ahead and wrote my letter of clearance because that's the only part that she had recommended that the surgeon's office needed. So got that taken care of. I actually had my sleep study last Sunday. It was horrible. Do not ever recommend. They put this lovely goop all over you from head to your shins, attached sensors to you. Thought I was going to have to fight the woman over my nails because she said the O2 sensor wouldn't read through the acrylic or the gel polish. I said, I'm pretty sure when I had my kid, I had nails and gel polish, and it worked fine. But hey, I said, well, do I need to reschedule in between my sets, or what would you recommend? She said, well, you can come in and we can try it. I was like, okay, it's fine. Had to be there at 9:30 p.m. Got there. Had trouble getting in the door, but that's a different story. That's neither here nor there. But she got me in there, got me all in my bed clothes, all that good stuff. She She said, okay, let's start suiting you up. I thought she was going to put that O2 sensor on first just to see if it would read. Well, luckily, when she did put it on, it read just fine because that was the very last piece of equipment she put on me. I had wires everywhere. Pretty sure you couldn't put it end to end, and I could have went from where I live now to my hometown and had plenty of cord left. The stuff they use to stick those sensors to you is basically like bacon grease or lard. It's just a greasy, gunky, sticky blah. I had to soak my head for like 10 minutes in scalding hot water to get it to even budge out of my hair. But I go for the follow-up appointment on that here in a week or so, but we got it done. So as far as clearances and things I have to do before my surgery, everything is good, doctor-wise or health professional-wise. Today I had my 5-month weigh-in appointment. Everything looks good. I'm still progressively losing weight. When I had my first appointment, let me check my book here. Yes, on September the 16th, when I first went to just my normal primary doctor for that, I weighed 320. Second month, I went down to 315. Third month, I went down to 305. And then here's December, all the holidays going on, a lot of other things going on as well. I actually gained a pound. I went back up to 306. I started freaking out because the way I was reading this paperwork, I had to, like, the further I went down the line, that weigh-in had to be less than the previous weight. So I finally gathered up all my stuff and I called the surgeon's office and I was like, so have I destroyed this process? What do I need to start over, like a whole new 6-month period, or what do I need to do? Well, luckily, the lady I spoke with, she explained everything a lot simpler than the information that they provided. The way that works is your monthly weigh-ins are there to keep track of your changes you're making or information you're maintaining. She said as long as my 5 latest weigh-ins were less than or equal to my initial weigh-in, I was good to go. So that 1 pound was tripping me out, but she got me on smooth sailings then. So today I went back in and, like I said, I weighed 303. Everything was good. Doctor said I'm doing awesome, just to keep my calorie intake right at 1,600 like I have been. Make sure I get in the gym as much as I can. Trying to get rid of that pop. It's going to be the devil, I swear it is. I have cut back majorly. Some days I don't pay attention and I drink a lot more than what I should. But on a day that I am aware of what I'm doing, I try just to have 1 or 2 Pepsis a day. And that is so hard. If you know me at all, you know that I can kill a 12-pack in a day with no problem. That is definitely a huge change for me. Next thing I'm going to have to work on is getting rid of these lovely little vape devices. I've not smoked a real cigarette since I had COVID in August, but I still am smoking these. They still have nicotine, but they don't stink and can't burn your house down. But I am trying to wean off of that. I was going to try to kick it on New Year's, but there was just so much other stuff going on that I just didn't even worry with it. So as far as my list, like that the doctor gave me, everything is checked off except for 1 more weigh-in with my primary doctor. So as long as I don't gain 17 pounds, I should be good to go there. Knock on wood, that won't happen because my luck it will. But where I do have this special kind of insurance, once I complete that 6th weigh-in, I'll send all that information into the office. I'm an overachiever. I do scan my documents and fax them in myself. But after that 6-month weigh-in, the actual doctor that I see will combine all that information and send it to them directly from her office for verification. Once they see that, that will complete my file, and then that's when they will send it to my insurance company for approval. So once they see that, I have been cleared medically, I have been following the guidelines, I am determined, hopefully they'll approve me, good to go, no worries. Once they do submit that for approval, if they do get a yes, the surgeon's office will call me to set up an appointment to actually meet with my surgeon. Paige Quintero is who I'm using. She's a sweetheart. I've heard nothing but good things about her. And I'm going through Baptist Health there in Lexington, and there are mixed reviews on them, but I feel like this surgery is something that, okay, so don't know what happened there. My camera decided to shut off. And I do apologize about the chick raising Cain. It's mommy run off and it's in my kitchen. But look over that. But yes, with Baptist, I've heard mixed reviews. 8 out of 10 have had great time, no issues at all with them. I don't know what my hair is doing. It's okay. 2 out of 10 have had something not necessarily go wrong, but they've had trouble like with the office or something of that nature. So I've stuck with them this long. I'm going to ride or die with them. Here we go. Once I actually see Dr. Quintero, we'll discuss actually setting up a surgery date and things like that and get me prepared. Another thing I had to have done, and it happened relatively quickly after my initial visit, they did an EGD scope down my throat to see if anything was going on with like my esophagus or my stomach or anything like that. Well, come to find out I have a hernia. That's why I keep heartburn 24/7. And then also, Dr. Quintero said she could fix that when she did my sleeve. And then due to another event, I went to the ER, had horrible back pain, didn't know what was going on, ended up having a CT scan. They told me nothing was wrong. Well, last month when I went for my weigh-in, my primary doctor had got the results sent. She said, so what did they do for you while you was at the hospital? And I was like, oh, nothing. They told me I was crazy, everything was fine. They gave me a Toradol shot and sent me home. She said, do what? I said, yeah. I said, they told me everything was fine, nothing wrong with my kidneys, didn't have a kidney infection or nothing like that, and sent me home. She said, look at this paper right here. She handed me this. Test results from CT scan. She said, what's this say right here? Right here. And I'll read it to you. That says gallstones. I'm eat up with them. That's another reason for all my stomach and heartburn and bleh. It's no fun. So I went to a doctor here in London, and he had actually scheduled me for removal, and I said, I better contact my weight loss surgeon's office to see if they need anything or if that will interfere with anything. So they told me that if I had the gallbladder surgery, I would have to wait like 6 to 8 weeks after that to go ahead with my sleeve. So even though that's right around the same time frame, with my luck, how it is, something would go wrong and I'd end up having to postpone the sleeve. So I contacted the doctor in London. I was like, hey, we're just going to cancel that. My weight loss surgeon's office told me they could actually remove my gallbladder when they do my sleeve. So they're going to fix my hernia, I'm going to have my sleeve, and they're going to take out my gallbladder all at one time. So that's going to be fun, I feel like. But it's got to be done, and I can deal with all the bowel issue, hurt and bleh feeling until they do the sleeve. That's A1 priority right now. I'm pretty sure I'd fight a bear if I had to today. But besides that, everything is rocking. Life in general is hard, but there are huge bumps in the road, things we have to do, things we have to deal with, and that's just what we have to do. A whole part of this weight loss journey is maintaining mental strength to make these changes, to actually make this happen. And within the past 5 months, huge events have happened, things have happened, to me personally, to my family, to my life. It's hard. It really is. And keeping myself mentally strong is hard. Ever since I had my baby, I deal with the depression and anxiety and all that stuff. So sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have bad days, but every day I wake up, I have to tell myself, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, and that's what keeps me going strong. So that struggle is real. As I said, I hate to use that phrase, but it is. It's a strength thing, keeping your head strong into what you want to do. But I think I have kept you guys long enough today, giving you a rundown of what has happened up until today, and I promise I'll make another video for my 6-month weigh-in. If anything happens or not, I'll just go ahead and make a check-in to give you an update as far as my weight. As far as my body, to date I have lost, technically by one scale, 35 pounds. by my home scale, I've lost 40 pounds, but I also can weigh naked at my house, so that makes a big difference when you think about shoes and clothes and things like that. So just to be safe, we're going to say that I've lost 38 pounds. We'll put it right in the middle. 38 pounds in a little over a year. It's not a large number. To me, it's a huge number because I didn't do anything but gain weight since I had my kid 3 years ago in March. So that's a big thing for me to chop off. As far as my body, I can tell changes in certain areas and none whatsoever in other areas. Something in this video I keep looking at because it's gross is this lovely thing right here. Before I started losing weight, it was there, but it wasn't as prevalent like under my ball chin here. But my face in general, you can see my cheekbones now, and I think where that is thinning, this is actually just coming down further, which that's going to be part of the slice and dice that I've got planned for everything else. After I do have the surgery, I'm going to have huge amounts of excess skin, so I'm kind of at a standpoint with my tattoos right now because every place that I have open is potentially a surgical site for skin removal. So I'm hung up on that too, but working on it, working on the gym, working on maintaining the eating habits and all that good stuff as well. But just keep on keeping on. That's all I can do. If you have any questions, feel free to holler at me. Anything good you want to say, holler at me. If you want to say anything bad, you can holler at me and I'll answer back like I always do. But let's do it. Everything's going good right now and I'm on a good note. So that's good to go, and I'll be back with y'all in about a month. Have a good one.